but they wake up every day at 6 in the morning and come to work. Hundreds of kilos of vanilla lay wasted in their store.
Twasooka ne tulima vanilla waffe, ne tusooka ne tutunda vanilla mu kasente akangi. Mu mitwalo nga 10. Ne tutunda vanilla. Omubisi nga tutunda emitwalo 10. Kilo emu nga tugitunda emitwalo 10. Kasente ne tusanyuka nnyo kasente kubanga twali tufuna akasente nga kangi. Vanilla n'agenda nga kkira ddala n'atuuka ku siringi 10 ng'avudde ku mitwalo 10. Mu kuva ku mitwalo ku siringi 10 ne tumutunda siringi 3. Tuba tukyali ku siringi 3 nanga nti ate kati vanilla omukalu ali ku kasente akangi. Kati ne tufuna store yaffe eno weno we tuli emwanyanjiri wano. Ne tukola ki ne tufumba vanilla waffe. Kutumala okufumba vanilla waffe ne tubulwa akatale. Era abatugamba tebaddana kutugamba nti oba vanilla bannanga ali atya. Kati okufumba vanilla ffe twamufumba kati tumaze omwaka mulamba nga tufumbye vanilla. Teri muntu yali aze n'alamuzaako era vanilla ffe tumulina wano mu store.
Abakyala bajja wano buli lunaku ne baanika vanilla kumala myezi 3. Omwaka mulamba twanbanise vanilla batusaba ssente tutunula butunuzi. Era ffe abakulembeze tuli mu kiseera kizibu abakulembera ekibiina kino. Bannaffe abamu abataleeta wano bali mu kutusoomooza batugamba mwanona ki mu ekyo. Owabe bamutunda ku ssente ne balyamu empuuta n'ebirala bye baasobola. Naye ffe tukyakonkomalidde wano. Kakati okusomozebwa kunene nnyo ku balimi bannanga abali wano n'abalala abatabaddewo kaakati. Twali tusanyuse nnyo. Wabula nze ku lwange ekyendaba gavumenti yalizze n'etuyamba.
Maize is Ugandan's staple food and source of food security. Before liberalization, farmers were receiving seedlings, market information and extension services from the government. But as liberalization dawned on the country, the government withdrew most of these services and left Uganda's most important food crop in the hands of greedy middlemen.
Tuli basanufu ng'abalimi ku lw'ensonga nti kyanditusanwisa singa esente de tuli kufuna da mugaso nga diweraku. Aye obunigirize bwaife tuli kulima duuma ono mbungi omuntu alima kire 3 nga nze wano niba nanga abasigaireyo. Aye waidaga atunda duuma oyo oli mutunda eno 15 kyokanga kuliko ebizibu kamaala olina ogula omuno olina ogula sukaali niwo okwambala n'abaana okusoma. Waidaga yeyagaana nga mu butuufu tulikosebwa ina amaani gali kujja mu mangi aye ate okufuna kwaba nga kutono kire tuleetera okukairika nga tukaali.
The middlemen, they want a lot of profit, and whenever they come to us we don't know what price of maize they are buying. So when they come in the village they tell you we are buying maize at 80 shillings a kilo or 100 shillings a kilo, and you have nowhere you can bargain because you don't know the price for what? For maize. You just agree, and moreover there is nowhere you can take your maize. You don't know any market apart from that middleman who come to you, and he's the only man whom you think is helping you to buy maize. So he just comes, says I'm buying maize, and you ask him how much are you going to give me. He says I'm going to give you 100 shillings. And since he's the only man passing to buy maize, you have to sell the maize to him, and you get 100 shillings. Imagine a sack of maize, which is over 100 kilos, you get just 10,000 shillings. And moreover, cost of living is very high. Let us compare now. A kilo of sugar is now buying 2,400 shillings. You have to sell 24 kilos of maize to get 1 kilo of what? Sugar. A bowl of soap is buying 1,000 shillings. You have to sell 10 kilos of maize to get 1 bowl of what? Soap. Paraffin, a liter is 1,800 shillings. You have to sell almost 20 kilos of maize to buy a liter of what? Paraffin. This maize, which really surprises us, because the maize we are planting, we buy it from what? From the shops, from the farmer shops, and the price is very, very high. They give you 100 shillings per kilo in the village. When you want to go and buy seed for planting maize, you buy 1 kilo 1,300 shillings.
My family is soon dying just because of hunger. We are not even getting. We are being faced by diseases, and you find it difficult to get treatment because treatment needs money. And when you go in the hospital, there is no drug, and you have to buy drugs on your own. And I'm a farmer. I expect to get money from maize when I produce, and which maize I'm selling that cheaply, and you buy seeds, which is expensive.
I'm Mbadi Ibrahim, VEDCO Kamuli. This is Chiwungu Trading Center in Utansi Parish, Utansi Sub-County. This is a town where the farmers normally collect their produce for marketing. It has somehow grown, but it is still stagnant. As you can see, it started from grass-thatched houses, and they have started to put on iron-roofed houses, but still it has a challenge of the low prices. It could have been better than this. The other thing is the children. You can look at the numbers who are not at school, majorly because after the sale of produce, the farmers cannot manage to take their children to school. It has also a challenge of the roads. The farmers cannot access market, and when buyers come to such a place, they are always picking their maize at low prices, whereby somebody has to sell over 7 kilograms to access a bar of soap. And then they are investing a lot in the maize, but the yields are high, and the prices that they are selling their maize is extremely very low, and they are hardly getting anything out of it. This has made them just relax within the trading center, as you can see, and they have almost boycotted agricultural work.
Prices for agricultural input skyrocketed, and sometimes farmers were sold ungerminating seed by the private sector.
These farm shops brought in seeds, which was not actually it germinated, but it turned the whole crop turned yellow. On the germination, the whole thing was yellow. We didn't know the problem, but it appears they sold out to undried maize.
The price of seeds, it depends on the type of seeds they buy. Like a cabbage, 2,000, maize 1,300 a kilo. Some they can afford, some don't afford to buy them because the seeds price is so high.
It is clear that trade liberalization is not driving the development of a more dynamic, diversified or pro-poor pattern of development. On the contrary, it is locking Uganda into greater dependence on a few agricultural products whose prices have been declining for years. Liberalization is hitting manufacturing hard, and it is the development of manufacturing that Uganda needs if it is ever to trade its way out of poverty.
When you open up, and then all sorts of things come in to compete with the local production that is not protected at all, for sure poverty has got to be compounded.
Trade liberalization is not a policy that has unfortunate consequences for only a small minority of people. It is a policy imposed on developing countries by donors and international institutions that has systematically deprived some of the poorest people in the world of opportunities to develop their own economies and end poverty.
Sisi wanatuona hapa, watu zaidi mingi wanataka reserve, lakini tunatoka kwa reserve juu ya umaskini. Government inasahau sisi, zaidi watu wenye bado soma. Na vitu vingine inaambia watu kuwapatia fedha ya usaidizi. Hakuna. Tena zaidi wengi hapa tunapata shida juu ya kazi. Kazi hakuna.
Poor people have been driven out of their domestic markets and found no international markets to compensate them. Development has stalled as industries have collapsed and exports of capital goods have fallen, aggravating the crisis in agriculture as fewer employment opportunities are available elsewhere.
The actions of the people who have forced liberalization down our throat are many times dictated by the socio-political, economic, political situation within their countries. They try to be accountable to their people. So, while we hold those people accountable for that situation, for being so selfish, we should also hold our leaders and our own policymakers here accountable for lack of focus.
African countries have lost billions of dollars in 20 years of liberalization. This means lost opportunities for education, medicines, infrastructure and new industries. Trade liberalization and those who have forced it on Africa and Uganda